Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello! Okay, I just need to do one more thing. I need to get a glass of water. Sorry. I just did like a billion things. Just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. It's allergy season and I get a tickle in my throat all the time. Hey Helen, how's it going? Welcome. All right, so today I'm sewing part 1 of the Yanta overalls by Helen's Closet. Comes in lots of sizes. I'm making the shorts version, and I've only made 2 modifications, and neither of which is necessary at all. I got some samples of some fabric I designed the day before I cut them, and I just really wanted to use them. And then I realized, oh, this has patch pockets. I can't use my pocket lining. And so I made cutaway pockets. And then the other thing I did was instead of making that bib fully lined at the top, I made it narrower, kind of following the silhouette of the edge of the armhole and the front and back bib. And I'm going to sew it almost identically, so it's not a big deal. I just didn't want all that extra fabric inside. So those are my only 2 changes. So I don't think my pocket method is going to hurt anybody needing a sew along, because you just don't do that. You just sew on the patch pockets. So hi Ursula, Martina, Deborah, how's it going? Welcome. Hello in Poland. Coming a long way. I'm in California, so I've never been to Poland actually. That would be really cool. My husband's father's life partner, she was from Poland, and I collect Polish stoneware, and when she saw that, she was like, why do you do that? It was pretty funny to see the expression on her face when she saw my Polish stoneware. I love it. And I feel like I started collecting it before like finding handmade stuff was that easy, and I just love the artisan and craft quality of it. I just think it's cool. Hey Donna, how's it going? Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to probably be using the serger and my single needle, of course, but I'm also probably going to swap between top stitch threads. And so I have a few out here. These are the colors I have. So I have a lot of the like traditional jean sewing colors here. And then I have these two I bought for projects we did last year. This was for the Blanca flight suit, and this was for Ames jeans. So I haven't really decided what color. I may just go kind of vanilla in one of these denim styles. Hey Karen, hey Serena, how's it going? So this is the fabric. I've been designing lots of fabrics lately, and this one was my sample. And so yesterday I cut my pockets out of it, and I made it in lots of colors. I made it in 4 colors, not lots, 4. And then this one, oh, and then gray also. I made it in gray. So this is what I cut my pockets out of here. So it says it has pockets. Of course it does. And then there's a heart that matches the color occasionally. And then this version here, I obviously changed the scale, and so it matches the scale of this. It says the same thing, it's just more spaced out. So it'll look better when it's the right size. See, that looks a lot better when it's the right size. So hard to tell the scale on the Spoonflower website. So you upload your fabric sample at the scale you wanted it at, and then when you go there you can actually adjust it, but it gives you an overall size, I think, of your original design, not the fabric. So it's kind of hard to, and the little ruler on it is a little bit like basic. Hey Libby, hey Sharon, hey Andy, nice to see you. It has been a long time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so anyway, these are now live on Spoonflower, and I think like a fat quarter would get you not really enough to do pockets with, unfortunately. So what I would recommend is, if you're like a kind of a semi-regular Spoonflower shopper, I would use their Fill-A-Yard program. That's what this is. That's why I have all these different colorways on one piece of fabric. And then you can do like a half yard of each fabric you want on Spoonflower. You know what I mean? So just wait until you have a few designs from people. The other one I uploaded was this one here. And it says vaccinated, and it feels so good. I wanted to make masks for my husband, daughter, and I. So I made this fabric, and I've already made their masks. And I got 2 masks with just the outer fabric being this out of a fat quarter. So it was kind of wasteful because of how I wanted to position it. But there's some reference. And then I made it in 2 other colors as well. I made it in this pastel, and I've made this scale. I kind of played around with the scale. This is smaller, and it was just a little too busy. This is the inverted rainbow. And then this is just pastel rainbow. But they're all in this scale here. So I feel like it works really good. So anyway, these are the fabrics so far. I have a ton more I'm working on that aren't text-based. But I'm just getting, better and better at it. So. Hey, Mrs. Necro. Oh, did you miss the stream? What stream announcement? Hey, Sydney, Amanda, Ray. Cool. Oh, really? So, Ursula, is it as craftsman? How do I put that? I feel like it's such a long-standing tradition. And is it okay that I'm buying that? Like, am I actually supporting people doing that? Mrs. Decker, that's awesome. What's CR? Liam from CR. It goes over your nose. Yeah, I've definitely seen that too. I have one hair tickling my elbow. I've seen another graphic that I can't show on stream, but that's really funny. That illustrates it perfectly. So, all right, Yanta overalls. Let's do this. And I didn't start my... Gosh darn, I didn't start my timer. I'm going to start it right now. And then this is just an uptime thing. So, I think I've been going for 10 minutes, right? Yanta minus 10 minutes, or plus 10 minutes, I should say, to the time. Oh, Critical Role. Liam. Yeah, okay. Got it. Hey, Karen. Hey, Barbara. Oh, you're 15 minutes early. That's funny. Yeah, and then when you're on that page, I don't know if it actually, it won't refresh on its own, right, Mrs. Necro? Hello, Angel. Welcome from Vancouver. I haven't been to Vancouver either. I'm kind of embarrassed to say. I would really like to go. Oh, it says not to minimize that. Dang it. Okay. I don't really know how this timer works. So I have a little timer right here. It's really weird to point right here. And that is just so I can do timestamps for this live and hopefully add it to the video right after it uploads. So that's what I try and do so that I don't expect you guys to do it. And we have timestamps immediately, you know, so. Well, that's cool, Ursula. It's your national company. Interesting. Okay. Yes, Mrs. Necro. Yes. It's pretty funny. Oh, I don't know why I'm getting this out. I'm getting this out. All right, let's focus there. So the Yanta overalls, and the thing I did was added a little cutaway pocket. So my pocket is going to look more like, this is the armhole and the side seam here, and I think there's a dart about right here. My pocket's going to look like this. Oh, I didn't cut any binding. So it's going to look more like this. More like that. And then I'll stitch around it like this to kind of make it as the least amount of bulk as possible, because it sounds like, I think Malin told us that they explored the idea of putting side seam pockets on this, but they felt like they were too bulky. So instead, the pattern comes with patch pockets. So, yeah, there's lots of nice faces here. I love it. Hi, Tracy. Hey, Allison. Oh, I'm wearing a dress. It's a dress. Let me see. I can show you. I haven't worn it in a bit because it's been winter, but you know. It's a Colette Myrna. It's the Colette Myrna, and then I added one pocket on the side seam because of pockets, you know. Hello, Val. How's it going? All right, so I need some binding for this, and let's just look and see if kind of want something kind of basic. Oh, and maybe one I don't have to change my thread color for. So, maybe one of these, because I'm going to use navy blue thread. So sometimes you just got to use what you got, right? I just need a little bit for my pocket opening. So maybe this one. These are all my like little tiny pieces of binding. Don't they look nice and organized? Like, what kind of crazy person puts their binding like this? What a maniac. That person must have just moved somewhere and everything's nice and organized now, right? All right, let's put that there. Cool, Val. Yeah, watching a TV, that's fine. I mean, I don't like being that big, but we just won't talk about that part. Yeah, what are you making? What are you sewing? Cool, let's see. Let's do this. Let's do it. So let's see, the time is 4:29, and I actually don't know what our first step is, so maybe I should look. I'm going to try and sew these roughly in the order that Helen's Closet has it. Oh, and briefly, for the sizing, this pattern comes in, I think it's, 0 to 30. The small waist and hips, the smallest size, so it goes from like 24, 33, that's waist and hips, in inches. The bust is 31, and it goes up to a bust that's 56, waist that's 48, hips that's 58. It's been drafted by a 5'6" tall woman with a B cup. I am not a B, I'm a D. I don't have too much trouble with that. I am sometimes a double D. Alrighty. So we're gonna prep our pieces. We're gonna do some stay stitching, darts, pockets. So we're gonna need to do our top stitching. Top stitching thread, stay stitch, darts, right? Pockets. That's what I would have done. Let's see what else is. Let's write them all down right now. Center seams. And top stitch. Bib pocket. Do we do the facing or side seams here? Oh, we're going to finish it and do the bib facing. I'm not going to be adding a zipper to the side. I wish I would have thought about that, because that probably would have been really helpful for some of you to do that. I also think the other thing you could do instead of a zipper is a button tab. And so it would look kind of roughly like this. This would be the holes, sorry. So it'd be more like, kind of like that. This is the armhole right here. And this is like a placket that's open. And then that way you have like a slit down here. The other thing you can do is, and you could really just add an extension from the side seam, you know, like this, to just one of them, and then put a facing behind the other side seam, and then you could do a button and buttonhole closure if you don't really want to put a zipper on the side. So yes, Ray. Oh, nice, Val. I need some more tops. Ooh, look at all those patterns I haven't heard of. Yeah, you're doing your whole summer wardrobe. I have this one hair and it's driving me nuts right here. Dang it. Maybe it's on my chair. All right. Oh, I see it. I see it. Man. Okay. Straps. And I think that will probably get us through part 1, maybe. So we're making the shorts version, but with my little cutaway pockets. All right, let's do this. I'm not very organized today. I'm working on so many things at once right now. So let's see, these are our facing. So see, I made my facing kind of parallel to the edge. I think 2.5 inches is what I decided on. That's gonna be pretty tight to get my serger in there. That'll be fun. I got this trim out, maybe thinking about using it. Here's my pockets. Pocket. This is my bib. All right, so let's put the bib facings in here and the tie, and maybe we'll keep that out so we don't forget we have it. And now we're kind of set. Now let's write down the time. 9:17. All right. So the first thing, we may need to do some serging first. But let's look at all of our pieces here. We have our bib. How's the lighting? Should we brighten it up a little bit? This is the front bib. Let's take that one out. And then we have patch pockets for the back. So let's bind our pocket opening first. Which one should I do? Do I have enough of this one? I have enough of this one. I'm just going to bind it to the inside. This one is a little bit purpley. It's very purpley on camera. This one I feel like the little dots might show up along the edge occasionally, but you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? So let's just use this one. So I'm just going to bind this opening here. I'm going to bind it to the inside. just like instead of using a facing, so I could have used a facing and then I would have had a stitch line of that, but I'm kind of going for a little bit more incognito since I'm changing up the design a little bit. And I think for this kind of binding, 1 inch wide would have been a better amount. Almost all my binding is about 1 3/8 inch wide. Did I leave myself enough? Oh, good, good, good. So we're going to the inside. I'm going to obscure the binding from the outside. So that means I'm going to need to clip this little curve here because it needs to kind of spread apart so it will lay flat. But if I were just binding on the edge, like I didn't mind the trim showing like this, I wouldn't need to clip, you know. Oh, look at those dots. They lined up almost perfectly. Wow. That's pretty cool. That dot is very sporadic, so I'm kind of surprised. All right, I'm going to do the other side too. This was the binding for this group we had, whoops, called Sloths, and it was this really great sloth print designed by Sarah Watts, who I keep mentioning her because I'm taking her drawing classes. She just started drawing classes on YouTube. She just started a YouTube channel. And I used her beginning Procreate class when I started learning Procreate. It was like $25 and really good. Like so many basics, so many essentials packed. So this binding went on this fabric group we had called Sloths. It was really cute. And now she's got all of her fabrics on Spoonflower, which is pretty amazing. This is my last little bit. Man, I used the heck out of this binding. So I'm just going to edge stitch it. Do you guys want it to be a little brighter? We can even bring this down a little bit. Denim is always a struggle, and we want to sew a lot of denim on this channel. So someday we'll probably have better cameras and it won't be as much of an issue. But I don't know. I think that this would be a struggle for anybody. What do you guys think? If you're on a device, you might be able to raise your brightness. Because my binding is so wide, I'm probably going to fold it quite a bit. Just so I can kind of... Oh wait, I want to go this to the... Yeah, I have to fold it quite a bit. So sometimes what I do when I have this much is I fold it in half and then I fold it over like that. And I want the denim to show on this side just so I know the binding's not showing. That's kind of how I'm doing it. You could iron it first, but I don't find that helps too much. You could just trim down your binding too. Instead of cheating. There we go. So now we have this little pocket opening here. Those dots really lined up. It's pretty funny. Looks good. Now, it did cross my mind that maybe I would want my top stitching thread to be there. And I mean, so it would have been smart for me, I already clipped this. It would have been smart for me to do this with the top stitch thread, but here's the problem with that. With my machine, and I think with any machine, when you use this really heavy duty top stitch thread, I find that I have to have my regular bobbin thread in the bobbin, not the top stitch thread. That doesn't work. So that would have meant that I would have had to sew it blind from up top, and I wouldn't even do that. And I love sewing binding. You're gonna see me do a lot of binding if you're new here, and I just really like it. Make it a little brighter, a little bit. So that a little better. Maybe I'll take the sharpness down too. So I don't have any problems though top stitching on the right side with my top stitch thread, even though I've already stitched that. That doesn't bug me. I'm not a purist that way. So what could I have done if I didn't want to do that and I really wanted that to be my stitch? I mean, you could have basted this, right? You could have stitched this on maybe either a little bit narrower or right on the edge and with a basting stitch, and then gone back, top stitched it, and then removed it. Maybe if you use any of those like sewing glues, that could work. Even a glue stick works. We use glue sticks in this applique company I worked at. Or, you know, you could just try and pin it well and do it. I think that would be fine. It would just be a little fussy. So. Oh, sorry, Stacy. Hi, Stacy. It's not necessary if you're using one of the straight sizes, Stacy. So if you think you're going to need that vent, and granted, I haven't even checked, and I'm kind of hippie, so I could need it. I think that what I was suggesting, if you do that, is a side button closure if you don't want to do the zipper. I think the zipper's great, but I think buttons and buttonholes, and I did this on the Burnside bibs, which is a really old video of mine. I know the quality is quite a bit different, like my format's not quite different, but it's like I hadn't hit my stride yet. I'm still working on my stride, to be honest. So, and I wanted kind of that classic overall look with those. And so I think like let's see, what would I do? If this is my pattern piece, how about a black Sharpie? I don't think that lavender thing's gonna cut it. All right, so I think for, it's kind of bright. This is kind of off the top of my head, so I might not be thinking of everything, but I think like if you wanted to do a button side placket instead, the easiest thing to do, if you don't want to do a zipper, I think the zipper's a great idea though. So yeah, exactly, Malin. So I think you should try it on before. You might not even need it. So, and maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's where I'll kind of see. I'll get to a point where I need to know that, and then we'll know for part 2 if I'm going to add the zipper or not. But another idea is you could just take a, piece of fabric, fold it in half right here, and then attach that little placket to the side here. And what I would do is I would put that on the back overall, and then I'd put a facing stitch down here, maybe rounded. And then I'd put my buttonholes on this side and my buttons here. And then, sew up your side seam and close it up. So that's what I would probably suggest if you're kind of nervous about the zipper, if that makes sense. So, all right. Hope that helps. And welcome. The zipper is not necessary, so I wasn't really planning on it because I think it'll be fine, but we'll see. Maybe I'll end up doing a zipper. Okay. So sorry, I'm just like jerking that camera around, making you a little bit seasick, huh? All right, so let's just find this other one here. Oh, let's edge stitch it first. I'm out of my edge stitching. Binding first. I don't ever edge stitch binding except when I'm putting it to the inside of something. I don't really think it's necessary in most other cases. I'm sure I'm not thinking of everything, but yeah. But I would just use like 1 inch wide binding for something like this. You don't need this 1 3/8. And it's a good thing I have 5/8 inch seam allowance because look, I kind of cut it short right there. But that'll be fine. I have the seam allowance, right? It's going to be okay. So, all right. So let's look. We have our pocket openings there. And I have this I need to stitch to my pockets, which is a facing. I'm just trying to look at my serging here. We have our bib pocket and we have our back pocket. So I think for these, I probably will want my top stitch thread, and maybe for this for when I put my other things. So let's go to the serger. Let me see, do I want this? I'm trying to decide, do I want to just, I kind of do. So one of the ways you could finish this edge, so I'm just going to attach this to my pocket. And so this is what shows through that little hole that I cut out there. You know, this is the wrong pocket. It's the other one. So just flip it over your head. And I could just serge this edge and top stitch it down, or I could just turn it under. This is more my style, to clean finish it like that. And if I were making a production pattern, I would have actually put a notch over here where I lined up this raw edge like this and then folded it back, you know. So this is more my style, to just edge stitch my pocket facing. And then this is not in the pattern. This is my extra little modification that I added. So if you are using patch pockets, you don't even have to worry about this. Maybe ironing it would have been made sure I got it straight. That sounds way too practical. No, I'm just teasing. You did a bound keyhole neckline. Wait a minute. Oh, nice, Sydney. That's a really satisfying neckline finish, isn't it? Yeah, so you have like the little neck slit like at the back or right here. That's awesome. Wait, I do have a left and right. Yeah, okay. I don't know why, but I just thought for a second there that I didn't have a left and a right pocket. And you'll notice that I didn't have enough to do all one color. So this one's green and this one's teal. Because I really wanted for my Dawn jeans, which I'm making in a couple weeks. And those are that mustard bold denim or denim. And I got a half a yard for that. But and then I needed to squeeze all the others. So like I have a green and a teal. It's very overblown right now. But all right, so we're going to overlock around this perimeter here. And maybe along this top edge here. I'm trying to think, what else would I like to do? Maybe that's it. And then that way it saves me for hopefully doing my center seams and my side seams together. Although if you're doing a zipper, you don't want to do that. All right, let's go to the iron here. Oh, I don't have my iron set up quite. Just moving my microphone here. Oh, cute, Sydney. I love that. Oh, I don't need my iron. I'm going to the serger. All right, so I'm just going to go around this perimeter here. I don't have this camera quite really optimal for the serger today, but maybe I'll get it better for when I do the facing so you can see me do that tight curve. So when you do these kinds of curves like this, I like to put my fingers here as like a pivot point and kind of wrench it to where I'm keeping this edge lining up still with the front of my machine. I really wish I could give you a better view though. I just thought of using the serger last second though, and I had this set up for my iron. Oh, and now I've messed it up. Ah! Dang it. Lift up your presser foot if you have to. Yeah, you can't really see, but there's wrinkles here, and I'm really pulling. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? That's like shows you absolutely nothing. Do I have another? I'm thinking right now. I'm looking for another place to put a camera. Oh, I have one here. Let me see if I can put this up for you guys. I have to be be really strategic because I can't put a camera on a table with a machine. Oh, my cord's probably not long enough. Let me fix it in a minute. So I'm just doing around this perimeter edge here. What is this thing doing? This is the one that's drifting. I think the hard thing sometimes is, you know, I like to try and do this where I don't stop. I feel like I get a little bit more of a even curve. This could be a little tighter. It looks okay. But... All right, I'm going to do the tops of these pockets. I'm going to do the top of my bib pocket while I'm here. Might as well. And for this kind of angle, I'm going to go off and then I'm going to go back on. All right, let me go back to this and then I'm going to move that camera. I just didn't want to make you guys nauseous by moving it so much, you know? I just don't actually think, can I get this to reach? Can I get this to reach? Oh, I can. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. All right, we will try that next time. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have all these ready here. Just get rid of some of these tails. I don't really cut them off right up to it because it'll just start falling apart, you know, like coming undone. I had a really kind person in my comments telling me about their serger this morning, which was so helpful. And then they mentioned that one of them chains off, and I didn't even realize that there were some home machines that do that. And I'm assuming that by chain off, they mean like, I don't know what it is about an industrial serger, but when you go off of the fabric, the chain is really tight. You don't have this issue we have with home sergers where when you like cut it off, it just kind of just falls apart, you know, and I talk about it a lot because I'm never really happy with how that looks. And so what I usually do is I pull it tight and then pull it back on it, and then I stitch it down to kind of secure it. You see, like, look at this one's, you know, just falling apart. With the industrial ones don't do that. So I didn't know there was a home way to do that, but that's pretty cool. All right. Okay, so we have our pocket here. I just threw on the floor. And it lines up to some notches that I added. I actually am not sure. I don't remember notching it though. Oh yeah, okay. You don't really need a lot of your pocket to be above the opening. You want most of it to be below. I'm gonna try and keep that a little lower, just like that. And so this kind of pocket is probably just the most I love these. I mean, I know they're visible, but at the same time, I really love that your pocket stays pointing towards the front of your garment and it's not very much bulk. So I could have lined this upper overall with a whole piece, but the binding was sufficient. So now I just need to top stitch it down, and I can use my top stitch thread to do that. So we'll get these both prepped. So when you're pulling, Barbara, when you chain off, do you pull it then before you're done? So, like, is the machine going? Yeah, I pull it too to tighten it up. I pull it to tighten it up to kind of lock it, but sometimes I feel like I can pull the wrong thread and then it just kind of goes bloop, you know? Oh, cool, Libby. Neat. The second Knoxville twist thrum. Twist 3 for a loop at first. Yeah, for those bound openings. All right, so let's line this up here. Cut all this off flush. Get my notch lined up there. Let's change my thread. So I think I'm going to go with just this plain old vanilla gold, you know, jeans. I mean, unless you guys want to vote for another color. We have the Ames jeans in this green, which I absolutely love, but I don't want all my denim to start looking like that. But this would be my choice. Do the green. I love green. It would match my pockets. No. Now I want this green. Now I want the green. And I love the coral, obviously. I don't know. You guys have any feedback? Half Moon Atelier 101 jeans. Half Moon Atelier is the pattern company, and 101 jeans is the jeans, Malin. I just learned about those two. I actually never put those two together, that they were together, that company was with those jeans. Kind of hard to tell the coral, how corally it is. It worked really good on my Blanca flight suit though. That's what I want, right? Let's do it. This chunky thread, it's like sewing with yarn. Yeah, hi Terry. Yeah, me too. I'm working on this fabric design right now, and I really want to get the green right because it's going to be like a green fabric background. Okay. You see I don't know if you can tell, see how rumpled my denim is? I'm just leaving it like that because I don't plan on ironing my overalls. I know, crazy, right? When I get them out of the wash. That's how they'll be, so I left it. Otherwise, if I ironed this right now and then sewed them up and then never ironed them again, they might be a little small. So, I love that coral too, Sharon. Nice, Libby. Cool. That I want to hear. All right, so I'm just going to feel for my pocket. But you could also, you know, mark this with chalk or something like that. I really love Choco liners. But I do admit, like, the chalk doesn't always come out. And I didn't test it on this, so. Oh, thanks, Angel. Yeah, let's see if they'll work. I mean, if you needed the zipper on the side, then I'm kind of, like, putting myself in a bad situation for the zipper. They're not going to work if I needed that zipper. So let's do a little test stitching. What do we think, machine? That actually, dang, that looks pretty good. I thought I was seeing the blue thread in between a little bit. That looks pretty good. So I kind of want to run my foot along the edge of the... Wonder if I ironed it, then I would see that little ridge. I'm just going for it. I really should prep this better because this is going to be so visible. Oh, you know what else, you guys? Oh, do I want top stitching right here? I kind of do. I kind of want top stitching right here. Well, poo. Let's just, we want it, we're getting it. Right? This is why we sew. I'm going to use my awl to take this out. It doesn't, Sharon. Hey, Louise. How's it going? So how was the Great British Sewing Bee, you guys? Tell us. Yeah, it doesn't, Sharon. And I love it because it's so, it's such a dream to use, and it's so precise. I love that. And I find that for sure the yellow doesn't always come out. Okay, and that's what I was about to say. What Barbara said is I would check the different colors. So it comes in like light blue, pink, white, yellow. I want to say they added a black. I'm not sure about that one though. Maybe it was a gray. I have the white and the yellow. I don't know where my white one is though. I think actually it's just replacement. Okay, don't do it again, Sarami. I would totally do that. You guys know that too. You guys are probably like, oh, watch, she's just going to stitch that pocket right back on there. I just prepped this all night. I feel like my timestamps are just trash right now. All right. So I'm just going to stitch right over this stitching. And you aren't going to tell anybody I did that, right? So it's not going to matter. Look at that. You can't even tell. Ooh, that's so satisfying, isn't it? I love top stitching. Okay, let's get this back on here now. Do I have pins anywhere? Yeah, I do. I'll get a couple out. Well, we didn't, Amanda, but they all did. You know what I thought was awesome was that I watched Frugalissima's video on attaching elastic or getting gathers nice and evenly distributed using elastic. And then today she posted pictures like, hey, like someone in the Great British Sewing Bee made the same dress in the same print I did, and she already had hers, which that was pretty cool. You know, I was like, oh, how did she know? It's awesome. I don't remember what dress it was. Sorry, you guys know I'm bad at that kind of stuff. All right. Ooh. Where's that edge? Why am I just doing this, forging ahead? And why am I about to put my pin for my... I'm just thinking about my dart. How come I didn't notice my dart goes through here? I'm sorry. Oh shoot, I just took my... I'm really having a day here. Oh, really, Allison? Dang. They said you're clearly using... Wow. Nello! Okay, I don't know. Did I usually tape my darts closed, and I did I just do that and I wasn't thinking yesterday and I don't remember that I did that, and now I'm like, okay, wait, you should have done your dart before you did any of this, and now I'm feeling kind of silly. I feel like ever since that podcast came out, everything hasn't gone as well. Isn't that funny? Oh man, my stream schedule was all weird. I keep making really weird mistakes, you know, and I feel really relaxed. I'm taking this out again, though. Maybe I'll even do my dart so that I top stitch it and I accent it, you know? You can see it's definitely see my stitching now. All right, so let's see here. Game face. Trust me, I'm a professional. I'm trying not to laugh. Okay. I've been trying to think of another tutorial to do, and I'm kind of drawing a blank lately. I don't know. You didn't do anything wrong, Ray. That was exactly the command. You know? I'm going to use my top stitch thread to sew my dart, and I don't want to hear about it. It sews just as good, and it's two-tone, right? And yes, I do hand tie my darts because I'm old school like that. Now, do I want to top stitch my dart just so for the cool look of it? I don't know. I kind of do. I don't like the pucker I'm getting though. Here's one cool top stitching technique though, is don't backstitch right here. What you can do, and I find this really handy on some like features where just the backstitch doesn't look that great, where you can now just pull this bobbin thread, kind of just tug it, and then it pulls that. It's really obvious because it's different color. It pulls it to the back, and now you can hand tie it, and then it just kind of looks like it disappears. You know? See that? It's kind of cool. That is a consolation. DuckTales on a Disney website. DuckTales, Allison? Maybe that's why they're busting you. I don't know. The whole Donald Duck genre stresses me out. Like I think I've talked about this with you guys. I don't know, but he's always stressed me out. When I was a kid, even Donald Duck kind of stressed me out. I didn't like that I couldn't understand what he was saying, and he was so angry. But his nephews were just so naughty. I don't know. Certain things like that, like weird things will stress me out. Other things I'm totally fine. Like I like background noise and stuff like that, you know? All right. Let me make up for it with my nice top stitching, right? I have 2 pins here that I went to the grocery store yesterday which admittedly I haven't done for a couple of weeks. My husband does a lot of the grocery shopping. He really loves to go to this store. And I was wearing my Maya Sodas dress. And I got 3 compliments. I haven't, like, that hasn't happened in so long. And I couldn't tell, like, dang, have I just not been out in the world much? Like, I don't know. I don't really feel like people notice what I'm wearing often. But maybe it was just kind of like this overall, like, spring is in the air and everyone was kind of, like, happy to be out and getting food. And I don't know. It was just such a fun vibe at the store. All right. Carry on. I think that Sewing Fairy's been trying to tell me something. Maybe it was just that. I kind of like the way that looks, though, with the stitching there, you know? You can't, Louise. That's so... Thank you. Is it really? Okay, Allison. Well, I mean, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, 3, Sharon. There were literally like 10 people in the store. 1 employee and then 2 customers. And the 2 customers, funnily, had hair really similar to mine. One was probably my age and the other one slightly older. And I got them confused with each other. I was like, wait, you just talked to me. And then I realized, oh, that's a different person. You know, masks and all that, so. Ah, Val. Okay, Amanda, thanks for coming. All right, let's try this one more time here. Nope, I need to top stitch the side. Never mind. I think that's what it was. The Sewing Fairy was telling me, you still have a few things to do. You're being a little chatty. Ray's distracting you. It's all Ray's fault. Yes, Ray. You got to suit up and boot up. Keep yourself safe. Okay. Top stitching this little curve again on this side now. I made it really hard for myself by just not removing that completely. Because that's what we do sometimes. All right, now we're ready. And maybe what I'll do is I'll use the Crayola marker a little bit. We know this is washable. I know you can't see it. It's gonna look like a miracle when I do it. Dang, I'm losing it. Okay. Okay. Do it before it soaks in too much. I'm going to try and keep my foot lined up with this outer edge because this is kind of notoriously something I would slip off the edge. I do it with just regular pockets all the time. I'll slip off and not even realize it. And then I have a hole, you know? No? Where is it? Oh my gosh. I think why the Sewing Fairy was telling me all that was, what happened here? Is that I told myself I was going to stitch this in navy blue so that they didn't show. That's funny, Mrs. Necro. You know, Nancy in our stream, Kristen, told me about them, and we've all been using them. Barbara, really? That's funny. I know a lot of people have been during the pandemic. They're just like, you know what? This is my chance. All right. What do we think of the green? Okay, Mrs. Necro. Was the Sewing Fairy really telling me I shouldn't have done that? That I should just do blue and let it blend in? No. So is that a Reddit group, Sydney, and someone has them for download? Is that what you're telling Malin right now? Dish. Tell us. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the exposed stitching is good? I mean, there would normally be patch pockets right here, you know. Good size pocket, though. I could take it out for the third time, you know. You like the green, Donna? Okay. I'm going to leave it. Alright, I'm going to use this marker. While I kind of lost it a little bit, it did help. Actually, I think doing it from this angle was a little better. Okay. I actually put these linked on my Amazon affiliate links because I had trouble finding the like a small package when I was looking for them. I didn't want like a gigantic one because I'm not, you know, a kid needing every color in the world. I just wanted some variety. Alright. Okay. They got a little bit of a you know, curve to them because of the dart, you know, makes the pockets roomier. Oh, sorry, Ray. Yeah, I think the blue could have been better too. Yeah, just make sure they're ultra washable and test on scrap. You're just saying to test on the scrap part to cover yourself like we're going to sue you or something. You never used to say that. You said you tried it on every fabric and it hadn't failed once yet. I remember. Can we get these markers? Or I don't know. My Amazon affiliate links are probably only for the American version. Yeah, exactly, Sydney. All right, let's move forward. Onward and upward. Let's do our back pockets. Since we have our green thread on right now. So I'm going to, wait, I know I marked these. Apparently this one got marked. The other one didn't. Oh yeah, it's there. It's just barely there. I just can't see this bottom one, I guess. Oh no, it's there, but it's kind of higher. Let's make sure they're symmetrical side to side. You know? You never know sometimes. These are symmetrical side to side, but I'm not sure that they're... This is the best way. Fold up your pockets in half, line all of them, and make one notch to rule them all, you know? Because that's when stuff kind of gets wonky and you're like, I cut it on the... I did the notch. I folded it on the thing. I did everything. And then you realize, like, oh, they're just not, you know, in the same spot. Okay, I'm going to do it from the right side. something like that, I feel like it's best to just be really confident and go forward. I think you're supposed to turn under this edge. Maybe I'll just do 2 rows so that I kind of fill up this huge space. I was kind of preoccupied with getting those markings perfect, and so then I ended up with a huge pocket hem there. But I think you're supposed to turn it under and hem it, and I just overlocked mine. So let's look at these here. This is what they would do in a factory. They would just use another one. Whoa, it got pulled. No! A little bit of a dip right there. So. Yeah, Liza, makes you give you the hourglass, right? Oh, I know, Malin, exactly. I haven't listened to that episode, but I love that in the newsletter they have the hem marker. I've used one of those, and it's the niftiest tool. It's so cool because, like, it, yes, Mrs. Necro. It's like 2 arms like this, you know, it stands on the floor, and then these are rulers, these arms, and it comes up and goes like this, but they kind of intertwine like this, and there's a spot for you to stick a pin through, and then the little arms still come off without the pin getting stuck with it. It's so cool. Hi, Lynn. How's it going? Welcome. These markers, is that what you're asking about, Sharon? The ultra clean, washable Crayola. You can try the link and see if it takes you at least to one you can buy. You don't have to buy my link. I don't care about that. Yeah, Malin. Yeah, the one I've used was really old. The one in their picture looked kind of old, but I know you can buy those brand new. You mentioned Crayolas. We're just talking about the markers, Beverly. You're weeding. I was thinking about that. I was like, this weekend I'm going to feel good enough to be like outside and my back's not going to hurt. It's going to be fine. What do I want to do? Hey, Glenn. Yeah, that's not cheating. That's just ensuring success. They're called markers. So they're the ultra clean washable marker by Crayola. And I don't think that I've seen them called much else than that. I don't think there's like variations on the clean, ultra clean or ultra washable. They have a chalk puffer. Ooh. I saw that at a tailor's shop once that I worked at briefly. I never got to use it. That's right. That is pretty nifty. Pins, man. That's so... Okay. Maybe I'll stick with this double needle thing, and maybe I'll even go back and do my front pockets. Like, we'll just go... Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think I want a back pocket design. I really did not plan these, did I? They've been on my mind for so long, too. Helen said something polite. I'm pretty sure she was being polite. And she was like, can't wait to watch the video. And I was like, oh, please don't watch and see that I completely forgot there was a front seam. And I was like, what's wrong with this pattern? Yeah, I think I'm just going to put, I don't know, what do you guys, I think I'm actually going to put double top stitching, and that's going to be my decoration. Let's make this thread a little longer, and I'll just hand tie it up there. And I'm just going to go around the perimeter right now. And then I'm going to go up across the top of here and come back around and finish. So now this kind of double needle top stitching, if this were maybe a gentle curve, I don't know. I'm trying to get it so where if you wanted to use your cool like double twin needle on your home machine, because I can't use one of those on mine, that you can do it, but it's honestly going to be really hard for you to turn corners with that thing, and even doing a curve, it has to be a kind of the right curve, because your needles are traveling at the same rate. One's not traveling slower than the other when you get to those spots where the like inner circumference is smaller, you know, so you got to be really careful. You might just have to do it like me, you know, like the old school way. I'm going to try and get rid of some of these white threads right here, but I don't think it's happening actually. Those things really bug me because they stick out of your pocket. So I'm just going to fold down the corner. It's my own weird thing. So I'm just going to go across the top. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 stitches. Yeah. Now when you get to these points, you got to remember that the center is more like right here, but when you're coming to it with your machine, it'll look like it's in a different spot. Like it'll look past that point. You could always iron your pocket down the middle to kind of give you that hint. One more. Fold down that corner a little bit. Kind of tuck it in there and get it enclosed. And then I'm going to go across the top. All my stuff. These overalls are like on equal sides of my machine here. Alright. Hopefully I didn't pierce that thread because it'll be hard to pull to the back if I did. And then I'm just going to pull these to the back. So that one was easy, but this one might give me a little trouble. It's already back here though. Let's see. That looks pretty good, huh? I like it. Looks like shadows on the camera make it really doesn't flatter it, does it? What I like about these is how pointy those markers are. Oh yeah, that's a lot of hem to do that, Barbara. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That would be those Tanya culottes have a formidable long hem. But did it work out? I mean, I do feel like if you let those hang up for a while, there's some bias that could happen and like parts of it might droop down. So I get that. Yeah, so we could just put a little line here this time. Ooh, you did, Nancy? Nice. I love the stop stitching. I mean, this thread just makes it so fun. I had never bought this thread before, and we got it for the Ames jeans because I knew... Well, they don't have... I have all the jean colors, and I knew I wanted a fun color, and I think I actually went to get red. I think we talked about it or something. I don't remember. And then I discovered this stand with all these threads. I'm not sure what they're usually used for. It might be the... I don't think it's the embroidery seam. I feel like I've known, but I just don't remember. I don't know. I don't think it's meant for garment sewing. It's okay for garment sewing, but they're not. That's not who their target customer is. Not with that many colors at a quilting store. You know what I mean? It might just be for quilters. That looks crooked. Why does that look crooked? I think it's the grain. Huh. All right. So make sure you leave yourself a long tail if you want to pull them like that and make your stitches look invisible. A lot of prep in these. I think once you have all this prep done, these are gonna go together really fast though. There's no waistband, there's no placket, you know? Pull down my little corner here. I don't have a link for these top stitching threads. I got these at my local fabric store, and just says Egyptian cop. Oh, it's Wonderfill. Oh, and it's the spaghetti. Spaghetti is the weight. And you know, honestly, I think you'd have to go to my Ames Jeans video, sewing video, or the Blanca, and I probably told you what weight it is. I don't want to guess right now, but I know with this thread, the lower the number, the heavier weight thread it is. I'm pretty sure. Because it's not like, ooh, that was one stitch too far, I think. It's not like, let's see. The thread that I have on my machine that I usually sew, that you know, like we've talked about, like the weight of it, I'm using Tex 40. Well, that feels too far away. But that's the pivot point. Okay, so I kind of veered off a little bit. All right, fine. I use Tex 40 on my machine. It's because it's what I have. Like I said, I bought fabric or thread from a factory going out of business, and I just had a bunch, and it's just kind of standard what you buy in manufacturing. But a lot of what you buy usually at the fabric store in a cone is Tex 27, and it's lighter weight, and it's a smaller number. This stuff's the opposite, and I don't know much about it. Thread is a whole world. 12. Oh, see, I didn't quite have, it's kind of 3 stitches. Kind of. Yeah, right, Sydney? I feel like nobody can wear, I just keep swishing when I'm wearing them, you know? Keep swishing, just keep swishing. So if you sew through that stitch, like I just did, then it makes it really hard to pull one of them through. Hopefully I can get both. But see, here's this one. Why is this one split? Right, Mrs. Necro? Wouldn't it be amazing if YouTube had a dedicated live stream platform like that? Can you imagine? It would be so amazing. It'd be so amazing because, like, you could even find other people streaming things you like because they have the recommended thing. They have categories on Twitch, and it's just overall just so much more organized. And just like, can you imagine like just like opening your YouTube and all the people you follow, like if they're live, they're on the left, and I don't know. Okay, why is this so hard to pull right here? Oh, that's that one. So what I need is to find out which one this goes to. So let's pull a little bit. It's this one here, okay. We just need like a little bit, and then we can kind of work it to the back. There we go. Nice. I never have these wear out, but I imagine they could, you know, these little hand-tied knots. But none of my darts have come undone, and I would argue that that's kind of in a high abrasion area, your bust, you know. Tex 8. Ooh. Yeah, see, I feel like these are different kinds of weights. The Tex and then the weight are different directions, you know? Hi, Elena. How's it going? You pay extra, you can keep the videos playing even if you don't have the app open. I don't know what that means. Okay. Let me do my darts back here so we don't forget them. Back darts. Oof, this video is definitely going to need some timestamps. Okay. Then we can start assembling these things. I love prep though. I love the prep of putting a garment together, doing all these little fiddly things. That's kind of my favorite part. The construction's the fast part, you know? I like that too. I like all of it. What don't I like about sewing? What don't you guys like about sewing? Like, what's your least favorite step? I'm gonna guess a lot of people are gonna say the cutting or the fitting. But like in specifically, like in sewing, when you've gotten to that stage, what's your least favorite thing? Like, what do you dread? But you'll do it. It's fine. But you dread it a little bit. Oh, okay. Oh, right. The picture-in-picture thing. You know, actually, Mrs. Necro, I know how to do that. So the trick with that, if you want your YouTube to be picture-in-picture with something else you're doing, you need to open the YouTube channel you want to watch in a browser like Safari or Chrome. And then in the video screen up here at the top, I think around here, at least on my iPad, it's over here, it has that little picture-in-picture thing. Any steps, that's the last step of the garment. Buttons and buttonholes, okay. Attaching, interfacing, like the ironing part of it. Okay. All right, where are we at? Center seams. Ironing at each step and hemming. Okay. These are all very valid. It works on my iPad. I'm not sure if that's quite considered mobile. My only complaint about that feature with Twitch is that when I close the app, I want it to go off, and it doesn't. It keeps playing audio. Like, say I'm sitting there waiting for someone, I'm just watching Twitch and waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm trying to, like, not be impatient or, like, worried, and I will be watching a stream, and then they show up. I'm like, oh, cool, and then I just shut my phone up. I want it to go away, but it doesn't. Even on Top Chat. That's okay. I do that, too. Yeah, exactly. Nancy's got it. Oh, Allison, nice. Doing all the bleeping pattern adjustments. Yeah. Sydney. Velcro, lady. Yeah, right now I'm finding that anything that takes like zigzag or stretch, because I don't want to get my home machine out. I kind of wish my industrial did zigzag and straight. Yeah, it's weird, huh, Mrs. Necro? All right, I'm going to do the center seams here. And I'm going to single needle them. And then I'm going to top stitch them. Do I want to just single needle? I think I'm just going to single needle with my green thread. There's nothing wrong with that. Except that I'm using my expensive thread. The other thing is, well, let's see how my seam looks like here if it pulls apart. You can almost see my stitches if I pull hard. And this is just a very lazy thing I'm doing right now so that I don't have to change thread to navy and back to green. But, you know, I'm not fancy like people like Terry, who's going to have 2 industrial setups, so she doesn't have to do that. Yeah, the cutting used to be my least favorite thing. And then it kind of flipped. I really like it. I find it to be part of the creative part of it now. Wow, Elena. That's really funny. Does she just not like them, or she just likes snaps, or what? I mean, snaps, there's a bigger risk if it goes wrong, but for the most part, they go fine too. One of these days I'll have to make like a video of like just what one, wait a minute. Why is there that? Okay. Of what it takes for me to do a project on here. There's a little angle here and I don't actually think it's necessary, and it's making me sew this at the wrong seam allowance, I think. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna line up this seam with the seam allowance. Because I think it would be, I think it doesn't take long, but it really does. And same thing, Sydney, it takes me a while too to prep, and I'm not even like getting into the project. Granted, that's because I'm making like thumbnails or whatever, but you know, like you gotta tape the pattern together sometimes, see if you have everything, get the fabric prepared. Yeah. And I think it just takes a really long time and like lots of projects for that to just be kind of come second nature like it is for me now. It's pretty second nature. Sorry, it's like blinding you guys. That I don't really ever dread it. So she doesn't like have some buttonholes. Yeah, I get that. I don't actually like sewing buttonholes because of it's just kind of tedious and boring. Oh, the jeans rivets. You know, I had a really good streak, Karen, and then a couple, like the last jeans I sewed on camera, the 2 of my rivets didn't go so well. I think, Kristen, one way to get around that is to make it so that your placket is a sewn on piece, and then that way if it just goes all to heck, you can just remove that placket and put another one on. You know, and then just do it earlier on in your project. I also think doing some of that like earlier on in your project, this is what I would do with knitting when I didn't like certain steps. I would get it over with early on. Oh yeah, Sydney, that is a bummer. All right, I'm going to overlock this edge and then I'm going to top stitch it. So let's see how my serger's looking now. Oh, that's a nice up close view, huh? Let's see here. It's this one and this one and this one. Aren't you glad you guys don't have to figure that out? I think it's zoomed in too. So let's, yeah, it's zoomed in. That's what's going on. There we go. You guys survived that? Oh, you bought a rivet press too? Wow. All right. So I'm gonna serge this center back seam here. I'm going to trim off a little bit. So I'm trimming off about this much, like 1/8 inch and a half, like almost a quarter. And so that's where my serger is in relation to my straight stitch, about 1/8 of an inch away. just pre-serge this kind of thing for stream, but then I'd have 2 layers with the serging, and it was a little more bulky. I'm going to do the side seams. Get this a little bit off right here. We'll just even it up. So now if you're doing the overalls definitely without a zipper, you could single stitch your side seams together first and then overlock them together so it's one layer. You don't have to do them separate like I'm doing now. But I don't think we're at the side seam step quite yet, so let me check first. Oh, see ya, Angel. Sorry, I can't see chat very good. I see you're leaving. Thanks for coming by. Serged looks better today. You mean the camera or the sewing? It likes wovens. It is, Nancy, already. This pocket fabric is already on there. I finished it yesterday. This machine actually does sew really good. It's just, I don't know. I don't think I have it adjusted quite how I want right now. Oh, it seems quieter now. It's the same. Yeah, right, Kristen? So one of the things that sometimes will nix a project in production is if it has something that has a high risk element to it really late in the manufacturing process, because they don't want the potential to have to make that garment a second when it's already has so much invested in it. I'm putting that on the camera so I'm not blinding you. So, but there's ways to get around that as well, you know, by ensuring success in a home sewing way. All right, so I'm gonna top stitch this seam. I forgot to stay stitch the armholes. I love these little scissors, but they're sometimes so light, and that is one of the things I like about them. That my anything will move them around. But I love that if they fall, I really feel like they won't get hurt because they're so light, you know. Oh shoot, I forgot to take out those few stitches. What is that? That's really something got woven in there in the fabric. It was pokey. Yeah, right, Nancy. I feel like it should have gotten that hint years ago. So if you are top stitching and you're doing a heavyweight fabric, this goes on pants or anything. If you stitch them both the same way, so like see I pushed this one, the seam allowance, towards that way, right? So towards my right. And if I do the same on this one, press it towards my right, when they line up at the inseam, they'll be offset. And then you won't have that thickness. So one will be going one way and one will be going the other way. It's just like a nice little, oh, I can make sure that happens every time without much thinking about it too much, you know? Smacked it into submission. Well, I was going to hire that, the local serger teacher. I thought, you know what? Silly me for thinking I know everything and that I'm really good at this, right? Like, I don't need no stinking teacher. I wasn't really thinking that way, but you know what I mean? I felt like, in a way, that was kind of, I was closing myself off to the opportunity to learn from someone who's dedicated their teaching to sergers and overlock and cover stitch, right? And when that kind of dawned on me, I was pretty excited. And then I was like, well, do you think she'll come and just do like a one-on-one with my machine? And I would just pay her and not be in a class, because the classes were geared towards people who had never used a serger. And I had some really specific questions, you know. And then literally 2 months later, the pandemic happened. And so I feel like I'd have to start that whole ball over again. And that kind of gave me a lot of like, okay, I'm going to, because my overlock and serger is great. So I really think like I just needed to figure out some of the things that mine would need, you know? So, yeah, right, Allison? That's what I was thinking. It felt like a little piece of plastic or something. It was tiny. One of my shoes is bugging me today, and I feel like there's something stuck on the above the toe. Thanks, Brig. Hello and welcome. Okay. Let me look at the directions since I've been kind of bopping all over. I'm a little stiff and sore, sorry. We did the... Man, my timestamps are just rubbish today. I just don't think this is going to be something I'll be able to get the hang of. All right. We've done page 17, 19. What page is this? 20. Oh, I haven't done my bib pocket yet. That's next. Okay, we'll do the bib pocket. We'll do the inseam and the side seams. I'm going to do one side seam and up to a point on the other. And then I'll probably call it there. And then I'll decide if we're going to do the zipper or not. So let's put on our bib pocket. And now do we want to do... This poor little pocket's been on the ground so many times. I feel like the ribbon trim is just, it's a little much, you guys. Is this how you do this? Is it cutesy? I could even just go like this. Yeah, I know, Libby. You know what it is? It's the it's hard for you guys to see, but from the front of my machine, it has two covers, and they're just too loose now. So if I hold it and push it against the knife, it's fine. Because what's happening is there's a little gap, and things get sucked into that gap, which makes the knife not as accurate. Yeah, right, Nancy? That's how I feel, too. The twist in the back of those. The twist. What have I got with a twist? Okay, what do you guys think? Is this just too much? Like, is this too cutesy? Ooh, Malin! Yeah, Donna, I think so too. Ray, if you're really already gonna do it, then I can give you a list. Great. You got this. Just pretend like you're not doing buttons and buttonholes. All right, I want to actually see how she suggests people do this so that if I'm doing it really different, it doesn't look like I'm trying to do something different from her thing. Oh yeah, there is a little fold there. All right. Well, I overlocked mine. I'm not doing the turn under, but you could do that. But let's see here. Am I doing my overlock anymore today? I'm going to do my inseam together, so I'll just leave it there. We'll just finger press this. I'm going to finger press this little fold here. Because it's on this little bit of an angle, it isn't going to probably behave as nicely when you usually finger press things. It's a little bit, like, I don't know, bouncy is the right word. So I think another thing you could do with this little angle here, let's see. See how I have to push this center part a little bit because it's kind of between it being a twill weave and it being on an angle. It kind of fights being in a straight line when it's this kind of thick denim fabric, you know. Yeah, that's a good point, Libby. Yeah, right, Beverly. I don't think it's a bad thing, though. Oh. I was thinking that would be kind of cool to do a little stick out label. I don't have anything cute, though. See, so you could do this where, well, you would want to do it from the wrong side. Sorry. Iron this. Iron this. And then sew this little dart right here. You see it? Or you could just fold it over. I'm just going to fold it over. And I'm going to also do my best to stitch it from the right side because of the top stitch thread. So the point is on the top. Yeah. Right? I got this right, Elena? Oh, Libby's asking a question. Oh, it's on the top. I haven't heard the Eddie Haskell reference in years. Thanks, Ray. God, Eddie Haskell drove me crazy when I was a kid. Oh, Nancy. I knew what you're talking about. That's a great idea. Just like this, sticking out from the side of the pocket. You're so clever. Like that. Okay, I'll do that. It's pretty stout, Louise. Thanks, Ray. I just got the alert, made me jump. It's pretty stout, non-stretch. I'd say 10 to 12 ounce. 10 ounce. I don't know. Don't trust me on that. All right, so let's do this. I can feel my little fold under there. All right, but where is my center? That's the most important thing. I want to mark my center. So let's do this. I should have marked that before. So I know where to pivot. That better be under my point because it doesn't look like it is. They could hold the camera. Bye, Sydney. Cool. You're right, Nancy. Thank you. That's a great suggestion. I love that. How's that look? This is, okay, Ray, good luck with the grocery shopping. Oh, that's awesome, Nancy. I love it. The average length, I feel like it's like in the 5.5, 6 inch range or 7. Depends on how high waist they are. So here's the, this looks okay. The rule for getting your bottoms on and the opening you need is usually 9 inches below the waist. So if here's your hip, right? Here's your full hip. And your waist is up here. But the rise of your pants, right? So this is your waist, but maybe your pants are here. Maybe your pants are here. How risky of you. Or maybe they're really way up here at the top of the waist. What you're looking for is to get your pants to be the most open at the fullest part of the pants or skirt or whatever you're doing. And then usually like the standard rule would be, I'm pretty sure 9 inches below the waist. So even though your body waist is here, your pants might be here. You know, if that is like 2 inches up here, you only need a 7-inch zip. If that makes sense. But I think that in my opinion, is a little bit generous. And sometimes because of our proportions, and if you're short-waisted, low, high-waisted, whatever, that can put that zipper a little too low. In fact, I was looking at the Morgan jeans, and that's one thing. And whoever that really helpful person was who posted pictures in our Facebook group of them wearing their button fly jeans, their Morgans, that was really good to see that, because I think that they're right, that they think like it was just really stiff and bubbly, and they look really cute, really nice jean shorts, but when they're sitting, they look like too long or something. Maybe there's not enough buttons, maybe the plaque is too wide, who knows. So yeah. All right, so see, I like this white flower, but maybe I want the red one. That would stick out the most. So let's just cut this off right here. I've had this ribbon for a long time. Where's my markings? Where's my markings? Who didn't put those on there? Who dropped the ball? Yeah, I think those kinds of answers, like that is the one thing I find lacking, being now kind of in the home sewing world. It's kind of a two-way street though. So I feel like that's the kind of thing where when I see those questions asked and answered, I'm like, but wait, there's actually just like a baseline for that. But I will say the opposite is true for me as well, because everyone here talks about things like FBA and small shoulder adjustment, shoulder slope, front, narrow bicep, full bicep, all these like adjustments. Those don't exist in design school and pattern drafting, because you're not doing patterns for custom. And it's definitely something my channel lacks a lot of, because I don't think about it. I just unconsciously fix things and adjust them, and I know my body really well. So the Morgans are the Morgans aren't high-waisted. I'm thinking the Dawn. I'm sorry, Nancy. The Dawn. Yes, Allison. The very long file. I thought it was you, but I didn't want to out you, because your shorts are adorable and they look really cute on you. But yeah, when you're sitting, you're right. They do something like it's a lot of fly. But yeah, I feel like that's the one thing I'm going to start working on, is adding more. And someone sent me a really nice email saying, would you please do an FBA video? And we did an FBA in some sort of project that we sewed together. And I just did it kind of on the side. It wasn't a dedicated video. It was in the project. But I'm going to start doing a lot more of that, because I want to learn also. I know how to do those things. They're just not called that. They're just not called that in design school, because you're making an adjustment based on the standards that your company that you work for has given you. And you have their blocks and you use their blocks. So it's kind of subtle, but it's a big difference. Oh, really, Elena? It's So Live with Sarah Me Duffy. Probably, Donna, if you're looking at that. Or it's like sewists or something like that. It's my little like cartoon graphic person is the logo for it. You've got the right one. Actually, if someone in the chat, let's see. Let's see. Is this it? Wait, or is this it? Well, Ray tried commands earlier and it didn't work, so maybe there's something up with commands right now. Maybe someone, oh, I don't know if someone can put a link in it. It would take me a minute to put a link in there. Maybe I can try. I'll try and put a link in there for you. But everyone's welcome to our Facebook group. It's very casual. Here we go. So look for the group. And let's see, how do you find the group? This is what my page looks like? Wait, it doesn't look like that on my phone. Interesting. More groups. Here we go. Here you go. Come one, come all. You just need to ask. It's very casual, but it's been a little more active lately, and it's been really nice because people can say, hey, does anyone have this issue? And you might get a crowd-sourced answer, you know? Up high, down low. Wait, I want to look at the because of my, actually, I'm going to go by my facing. Because of my facing, I need another little table over here, but I'm just loving how clean everything is, and I don't want to add it. So that's my strap and then my buckle. Okay. Yeah, the Philippas, I have to look at those. I can't remember. Okay, perfect, Nancy. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, here is my front one. And so this is one of the modifications I made. So normally this pattern would just be straight across right here, and I just cut away all this fabric, and I'm using self fabric as my facing. So I think that if you're making these, you could use a contrast or whatever, and you don't have to cut away all this. You could even stitch across because, you know, maybe your pockets would cover the top. I don't know. Or you could even stitch it in the ditch in the seam allowance if you go straight across. Like that's something that's probably even mentioned in the instructions. But I just wanted something a little bit, I didn't want this extra fabric right here to rumple because I'm doing the denim. So this is, I'm looking at my placement here in regards to, oh, it's pinned on there. Because I'm thinking about top stitching my facing down. I might not do the green thread. I don't know. I might. We'll see. We will see. So that would cover that up, and that was kind of my plan. And plus there's a 5/8 inch seam, so maybe we'll go down a little bit lower. We're still covering it all up. Okay, cool. That's what I'm thinking. About right there. Yeah, it is, Nancy. I like that too. I sometimes have trouble connecting someone's Instagram name versus their YouTube name versus their real name. So I really love it when you guys, I'm so-and-so from whatever, and I'm like, ah, thank you. Like that. Like up top. We could put it down here. That actually looks okay, but I think it's kind of weird. It's your game tag. Yep. Yeah, I have that issue with a couple people too. My sister, I've been playing games with my sister's kids. We've been playing Among Us. I played Among Us on my iPad, but then I've been playing Crash Team Racing, which is a little racing game, and I'm terrible at it. I come in last every time with my niece. And so I'm not even friends with them on my PlayStation. I had to tell them my game tab. I thought, this is kind of weird. I'm telling my sister. Why is that weird? What do we think? Do we want this lined up at the top? Is that too big? Maybe just the white flower would be better. What about the blue? Maybe we just want something more like that. Oh, I like that. I kind of like the blue. Yep, Terry, you do. Took me a while to get yours on Instagram. This was Nancy's idea. I love it. I think I like the blue, you guys, because of the green top stitching. White, maybe Edelweiss, because you know you're going for that Sound of Music. Oh, it's a bed sheet. I love that name. The elastic video. Oh, that was a Frugalissima. I'll write her name in chat. So hers, it's really a Frugalissima. It's really a video on how to get your gathers very consistent. Yeah. You like the blue? We'll go for the blue. All right. Okay. I'm going to do it on this side. Maybe we could stitch it here first. And then iron it back. I didn't give myself much seam allowance there, so I might just have to hold it there. Like that. Something like that. The blue with a bitter red showing. Maybe I need a bigger piece then. That's awesome, Elena. Martina, you are constantly bringing up really good points. How do I do that? I can't. You're right. I'm following the instructions to do the bib pocket. I am really distracted by chat these days. I am really sorry, you guys, when I make these modifications. I got a little carried away. But you know what? I'm actually thinking, like, with all this stitching in the green here, I don't think I should. I think I've got enough going on. It's even more prominent in person. But you're right. You're right. I couldn't have. Maybe the red and the blue. Yeah, mine exactly right here. Yeah. This is 5/8, right? Yeah, let's see. Where's my little blue? I think I'll just stick with that. None of these are very small. All right, let's just stick that on there. Let's just do it. And Martina's right. I would not have been able to top stitch this. Oh, man. My brain is just not where it should be lately. Sometimes I will do something and I know I have to do it a certain way and I don't even think about it, right? And then later on I'll be like, you know, I didn't even explain why I did it that way because there's definitely reasons. And I do it so subconsciously. And then other times I don't think about it at all. I don't think ahead. And I think that's really the downside of streaming when you're sewing. I really want the instructions I'm doing to be kind of resembling the ones in the packet. So someone who maybe they never even seen us before, and they're like just desperate. They're stuck somewhere. So then they find the video, and then they like get to there's a timestamp. They see it. And then they're like, what the heck is going on here? These aren't even the same pattern. If I want to line it up with the top edge, I think so. Okay. I think that's, for me, in my perspective, since I'm looking at it at an angle, it looks like this is sticking out past the top, but it's not. It's a crazy optical illusion. We'll do it at a little bit of an angle. I need to get rid of a few things before I rotate all this because it'll all go flying. Had to come down one stitch to meet that guy. Wait, where's my other bobbin thread? Where's my other bobbin thread? What the heck? Well, that's weird. Is it really that short? Must have gotten sucked into the other side. Well, I don't see anything there. Well, shoot. If I could just, ooh. Here we go. So look at that. My little bobbin thread is so short. I might have to watch that, you know. But I do have both top threads and one bobbin thread. But we all know, maybe I can lay that on there. That's not going to help, but we all know it's a lock stitch, right? You need the top and the bottom. Kind of hard to make sure your bobbin threads are long on a machine that snips the threads. Okay, what do you think? Kind of a big loop. Bye, Tracy. Sleep well. I'm glad. Yeah, I'll be finishing them up on Saturday. I'm almost done. You're not going to miss much right now. All right. So I'm just going to sew my inseam right here. And then we'll call that part 1. And I'll overlock it too. And then that way I can try these on. Yeah, I don't have any of that, Libby. I was trying to think, like, what could I do? But what I could do maybe is put a piece of interfacing and infuse it over it, maybe. You know? So see, now my thicknesses here are offset. This seam is pushing that way and this seam is pushing this way, when in reality we know they're both pushing the same way. Just when you put them right sides together, they're the opposite. It makes perfect sense once you do it. But it's just nice to like be able to know you can rely on that strategy to get your seams offset and you can trust it. You know, I think that's the number one thing when you're worried about so many other things. All right, so let's just overlock this. Good night, Malin. Sleep well. I could hang something there, right, Martina? Maybe my keys? All right, just a quick serge. The microphone's not as close. Maybe that's why you guys think it's quieter. Ooh, I wanted to trim more off than that. Darn. Oops, I almost pressed end stream. I don't know why. All right. Do I want to top stitch my inseam? I think I'm going to, mainly because it will keep this huge seam kind of flat, you know, less bulky. And generally you do that to the front. So we'll do that to the front. We're all pretending like these are denim they're supposed to be like denim coveralls when they're not. You don't have to do all this extra top stitching. We're just taking it to the nth degree, right? See, that's far less bulky. And I feel like then besides it being less bulky for your machine, did I just catch it in there? Did I just catch my, oh my God. Wow. All right, it's time for me to go to bed too. Dang. I don't think I've ever done that in front of you guys, right? Wow. It felt a little funny, but I just thought it was because of the curve. You know how it wants to pivot? I like using my awl when I take out these big chunky stitches. I don't know why, but it feels a little less risky. Well, you get the idea about this. I'll fix this. And then I'm going to try them on and I'm going to see how I feel about if I need a side zipper or not. Yeah, you do 2 rows, Libby. For the top stitching, you had to keep it flat. Yeah. Do you ever do a flat felled seam? I sometimes do, but even for my industrial, for some of the denim I've used, it makes me even a little bit hesitant, you know? I feel like this thread is very, how do I put this? I'm not trying to say it's bad. I just am really surprised. Like my presser foot is green right now. There's a lot of fuzz on it, which you probably can't see. And it is a lot of plies to it. That's what it is. The commands aren't working today, Nancy. I don't know why. Since there's a lot of plies, which means like lots of strands are in there, it's really easy to like that, like to perforate it, like to separate them actually. Oh, I got past that. Do I fix it all the way? We know how I feel about back stitching. Ooh, ooh. If I just do a few more, then I could just hand tie it and then I won't have to back stitch. We'll just try and keep the integrity of these better than they've been. Didn't I just trim this though? So I don't have anything back here. Yeah, I've done them on the some of the pants I've made. I've done them more frequently on some of the men's shirts I've made. I do really like the finish of them, especially on a shirt, because it's different than doing a French seam, you know? I love French seams though. They're my favorite. But I like the way the flat felds are so low profile. Okay. All right, so let's see if I can get right where that is. But do I have a long tail? See, I can't pull a long tail with my bobbin, except if I do this. There we go. Let's try that. I'm going to get my needle right in that stitch there, hopefully, without going through that thread so that it doesn't split apart. It's a little hard to see. There we go. Let's hope it stitches. That first stitch, you know? You know, doing the thread changes today was no big deal at all, huh? When we just used the top stitch thread to sew it together. But in the past, I've been far more protective of the amount of top stitch thread I have on hand, because I've run out in projects like that. The spool they give you for, you know, like those spools. These right here, these are fine. These aren't quite enough to do a whole project. So I've even rethreaded my whole machine so that I didn't even use the thread that they pull through, because we've cut it really close here. Where's this at? Look at that. That's the problem with the long thread tail. You get thread vomit. You know? We no likey thread vomit. There we go. Okay. All right, let's hope I'm not missing a stitch on the other side. I'm not even gonna look. Like, watch, there's like one stitch missing between these two lengths. It'll be a mystery. There we go. Oh, no one can tell. Look at that. Even with the crooked stitches there, it just looks natural. Nice. All right. Let's see how they're doing. Cute. Yeah, get the bigger spools. Definitely, if you're doing a project like a pair of jeans and you plan on doing a bit of top stitching, I think it's fully a good idea to get a bigger spool. Yeah, that's true, Deborah. That's a really good point. Where a lot of them are like polyester core, cotton wrapped and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's true, Nancy. That's good too, to having two spools, because sometimes you can't find a big spool. Yeah. I have a few of these from, like, when they're in like kits for hardware. Sometimes they come with thread. Sometimes these are from kits from Needle Shark, and I bet sometimes she can get a big spool, sometimes she can only get two small spools. And I'm not actually sure of the yardage of these, the difference. 110 yards, 33 yards. So it's like 3 times as much. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, so 3 times as much on there. And I've gone through a lot of these. I feel like I'm cutting off money. What am I doing? Yeah, so if you get these, they're just probably price-wise a bit more. Anyone know what the price difference would be? This is quilting thread. It's not even jean sewing thread. That's different. Anyone know the price difference between these? Because I don't. I got these at my local fabric store. So this is the Wonderful Spaghetti 12 weight. Yeah, who said that? Was that Barbara that said it was 12? I think Barbara said it was 12 weight, and she's right. It's 12 weight right there. So smaller the number, the bigger it gets. And they have one that's like a 25 there that's thinner. 25 or 30, maybe it's 30. I can't remember. It's been like a year since I bought it practically. Although this one, I bought this last fall when we did the I keep wanting to say Jessica blazer. The Blanca flight suit. Superior, okay. Yeah, so those are the little ones, Nancy. And the big spools, I just find them online or at the fabric store. So usually when you're looking at this thread, they will have two sections. Like it'll be next to each other. So the big spools are in one section and then the small spools are together. So they're usually in the same rack for me. And then a lot of times, because these are such a specific style, I think the stores I've seen it at will have it completely separate, like at the register. It's almost like it's like this weird little oddball in their store, and they don't have room on the thread rack for it. So I would ask about it if you don't see it. Mara, 30 is 300 meters. Like, oh, that's a nice amount, because I think that these are, this big one here is 100 meters, so that'd be 3 times as much. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Mrs. Necro, you definitely want to have enough. But like I said, I was rethreading my machine. 236, that's a great deal. Dang. So 880 for 437 yards. I think that this was that. This is 400 meters for the spaghetti. I didn't spend over $10 for it. It definitely didn't spend $21 for it. I feel like it was $9 or something. And yeah, like you can't really see, but there's a lot of lint here. Look at that. So I don't necessarily think that's a good or bad thing at all. Like I'm just noting that. And I think Deborah's right. It's a natural fiber. But it does have a nice sheen, and it is very tightly, it looks tightly plied, even though you can tell by the green that it unplies very easily. It was that way whack, Michelle? Okay. You didn't pay as much as that, Barbara? To the Wonderful site. Okay. Yeah, the lint's fine. Yeah, exactly. I do too. I usually blow it out before the stream every time. Because I'm not sewing 8 hours a day on this machine. So there's a little bit of oil on there. You saw that on my finger. My hands are a little blue from the denim. I love sewing denim. All right. Oh, I didn't do my top stitch on my darts. What the heck? What the heck? Let's do that really quick, and then I'm going to go. Just so I don't forget to do this. We'll just bring this over here. All right. Do I have some on sale now? Ooh. That's tempting. I really did like having the selection of colors, you know, like that was That was pretty cool. When I saw those colors, I was like, what? And I asked around, I was like, so can I use this for what I want? And they were like, oh. So you're talking about WayWack? Yeah, I was a little nervous about WayWack. I was like, is this like some sort of discount thing? Is it like, am I supporting anything I don't want to support? But it seems pretty cool. I've ordered a couple things from there. I don't know if they have jeans hardware. Wait, here we go. I'm just pulling my top stitch thread. I love not having the back stitches. This is like some of the stuff I'm starting to nerd out on. Night, Louise. Sleep well. Maybe see you Saturday. All right. There we go. It looks like they just disappear. Nice. All right. The one thing I noticed with WayWack when I was making all those affiliate links in the description was for the pattern drafting tool for the tracing wheel. I was pretty excited when I saw that one came up from WayWack. I was like, oh, perfect. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. That's the one I want to link. And then I clicked it to make sure, and I looked at it, and I was like, because they actually listed it on their site as needle point tracing wheel, but it was not a needle point tracing wheel. And I think it's probably just like an accidental thing that they typed in, or they put the wrong picture to go with it. Maybe someone does that doesn't know all the stuff. So I should probably just contact them and say, hey, that's not a needle point, right? Because they wrote needlepoint in the title means they know what that is, and they were trying to differentiate between the kind that isn't, that just is like nubbles, where, I don't know if that a word, nubbles, like just kind of rolls around and kind of makes a like for duplicate paper, like carbon. And so I didn't link it. That's not the one I chose. I should just ask them, hey, did you notice you have the wrong picture for this or whatever? Because you really, if you're going to use it as a tracing wheel, they're both tracing wheels, but the needlepoint one's the kind that perforates the paper underneath, so you don't have to take apart your garment if you're copying it. So, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and so, like, that's the kind of place, Libby, that would be such a great thing if you can't afford wholesale on something, or you don't want a gross of pattern hooks. Like, I don't even want a gross of pattern hooks anymore. Bye, Martina. Sleep well. Good night. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that kind of fake wholesale is great. It's like a good thing if you just need a few. Like, that would have been good to know about when we needed thread colors. I never heard of it. All the times I searched, we used Komar. I used Komar in California because I used to order from them when I was in the garment district in LA, and they deliver. In fact, they tried to deliver my order a couple times when I lived in Humboldt because they thought I said I lived in Arcadia when I lived in Arcata. And they were like, we just can't find your place. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're out for delivery? I'm 12 hours north of you. They're like, oh, shoot. So, but that place has gotten big. I think they were bought by some mega company, and now they're just massive. Yeah, like if you want zippers and colors. Yeah. Yeah, they have the overall buckles. So smart. I didn't even think about checking there. I really need to get better about checking there. I don't get their catalog anymore either. But Beverly just told me that they have sergers there. Some Jukies. Not sets. So you could try Maker's fabric for hardware. Heart's fabric for hardware. If Closet Core's out, you can try Closet Core. They're really good. I don't know, Nancy. Probably. I sound like an ad for them. I don't even know them very well, but it's really nice that it's all sewing related stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna head out. I really failed at those. I just need to get rid of the time thingy. But it is kind of helpful to see it on screen when you're doing it. So, although it's wrong, isn't it? Isn't it like 10 minutes off? Gosh, I still have poison oak too. I finally asked my husband, I'm like, how do I get rid of this? He was like, oh, you're using that stuff? No, you got to use this other stuff. I was like, oh. He's like, now it'll go in a couple days. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, Penny, we just finished the part 1. I did a lot. There's not much left. Oh, I didn't do my stitch here. My God, I'm just brain dead lately. Watch. So what am I going to do wrong right now? I've had such bad luck. My goodness. There we go. I guess if you don't want it, you don't have to, but really, do you? Maybe I don't want that. It's not very big. Am I not supposed to do that? I thought I was really supposed to do that. Yeah, you're welcome, Sharon. See you next time. You shop there too, Deborah? Nice. Oh, gold star tool. Whoops. Oh, okay, Beverly. Bye, Libby. Or are you saying bye to someone else? Yeah, Gold Star Tool has attachments. Cool. All right, guys. I will see you Saturday. So there's a new design in manufacturing if you're interested in that series. No, they don't have a twist. There's a new one of those up yesterday. I haven't announced it on Instagram. There you go. And then, no, my phone would not fit in that. Look at that. I have a big phone. But what if you just tacked the top and left it open? Or just didn't stitch it at all? Would it gape? Inquiring minds want to know. Tomorrow there'll be another Friday Sews. I have another design in manufacturing coming out, but if you guys have some ideas for technique videos, I'm interested. Probably do a welt pocket one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that out too. Maybe for gardening tools. My phone could go in here. I just don't think that would stay. It's not very big. Hey Susu, how's it going? No twist, Nancy. See that? Bye, Ursula. Yeah, so I'll think about that. I'm gonna think about that. Yeah, me too, Mrs. Necro. We'll see. Hi, Adina. We're just wrapping up. We got a lot done, though. And here's the back. I'm going to try them on and see if... oh, I put my pocket fabric the wrong way. Oh, my God. I'm just cursed with this project. I wanted to see them. God, I'm going. Yeah, right, Margit? Exactly. I'm going. I'll see you guys on Saturday. I just can't win today. I have done so many silly little things. Oh, man. Now I can't even find my thirds. Okay. Bye. I'll see you Saturday. I'm going to get some lunch.